So, keeping in the theme with yesterday's video, and I forgot to mute my mic in TeamSpeak, this is, well, once again, the F2A Brewster Buffalo, Thatch's Buffalo again. And, well, in this match, since I know that low-tier allies have so much of a problem dealing with Russians, this is, excuse me, a battle that I played earlier today in the Buffalo going up against the Russians. This is a 2.7 game. There are lag 366s on the enemy team. There are also, there's a Peshka 3, as well as a couple of SB2Ms, and of course I-16s and a Chaika. There are also a few MiGs, MiG-3s on the enemy team. So yeah. And this team is primarily, well, there's a Typhoon, there is a Hurricane, 2 Hurricanes, 2 Dauntlesses, 2 Spitfires, a Wellington, a P400, a Wildcat, a Catalina, and myself. So currently I'm just climbing, getting some altitude, waiting for the enemy aircraft to appear, and that's when I spot the first 2 MiG-3s. There are 3, there is a squad of MiG-3s on the enemy team. Well, actually no, there's, I think, 3 MiGs on the enemy team. Either that or just 2. There's the first 2 of the lag 3s, there's the first Peshka, or there's the Peshka and the first SB. There's 2 SB2Ms on the enemy team. In fact, the one over there is going to kill himself in not too long. There's the first I-16, and here is our first victim, a lag 3. It's a lag 366. He doesn't want to go head on. I don't want to either. Tries to split us and then levels out and goes vertical. It's a very bad idea. Pull enough lead, shoot the wing off. Spitfire almost hits me, and then a MiG-3 comes in. MiG-3 puts some shots into the Spitfire, does not manage to kill him, and then the SB2M comes in. Just checking to make sure the lag 3 is in fact dead. You know, Russian aircraft, they have a tendency to come back to life and turn around and bite you in the ass after you have apparently shot them down. SB2M tries to get a shot on me, but he can't get his gunner down far enough, and he just flies right on past. Tail gunner starts trying to work me over, but misses. MiG-3 doesn't want to go head-on, I don't want to either. And then P400 and a Hurricane slotted on the ass of the MiG-3. P400 claims the kill. The SB2M decides to run, and it's a good thing too, because there's a Chaika and a pair of lag 3s heading in this direction, so I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge, and I'm going to start climbing. Now this team was, in terms of chat, it was a very active team. It was, the chat was pretty much just restrained to everything that was important at that moment. And this was a pretty good low-tier team by American standards. So yeah, I was very much impressed with this team. So anyway, enemy aircraft are starting to lose their altitude, and right now we are most interested in the Chaika and that Ishak. The Ishak is starting to dive after that Wildcat, but the Chaika is still at altitude. However, he is about to dive on a friendly Hurricane. That Hurricane down there with the P400, he is about to dive on that. So I've just lost visual sight on him. Just lost visual contact. There he is. He's commenced his dive, and this is actually what I was waiting for. I was getting up into this cloud bank so I could try to climb above the Chaika. However, the Chaika throws away his altitude advantage, obviously doesn't notice that I'm here. And I am going to hang on to this altitude advantage for dear life. I'm not going to give this up if I can possibly help it. And this is how you fight Chaikas. You need to have an altitude advantage. If with a Chaika, or even with an I-16, with an Ishak, if you can get an altitude advantage in a Buffalo or in a P-36, or in any aircraft for that matter, that is how you fight these things. So the Chaika is avoiding the P-400. P-400 smart enough to not get into a turn fight with the Chaika at low altitude, diving in to try to help the P-400 out. And then I don't know what the hell happened with this Chaika. He just started going into these barrel rolls and then ended up throwing himself into the ground. I don't know what the hell happened there. So anyway, that's the Chaika dealt with, and the enemy team actually, in the space of time that it took me to get to that Ishak and make sure that Chaika rather, and make sure that he was dead, the enemy team has had a team kill occur, accidental, but their I-16 has accidentally team killed one of their Lag 3s, which means that there is 2 Ishaks, a Lag 3, an SP-2M, and a Peshka 3 left. There's the Peshka. He is currently RTB. The SP-2M is on the runway right now. I don't know if you can see it, but that dot over there on the airfield down there, that is the SP-2M, and the Spitfire is engaged with both of the Ishaks and the Lag 3. The Typhoon and I are about to try to give the Spitfire some assistance. And the I-16s we have down there are one Type 24 and one Type 18. Not like there's much of a difference between the two, but hey, you can always tell by the camo scheme. Which, by the way, for the camo scheme, the Type 18 is the one with the green and black, or green and darker green. The 24 is just the solid green. So the Typhoon overcooks the dive and kills himself. Killed the Type 18 in the dive. Turn the engine back on and go vertical, and then the Spitfire crashes into the ground. The Lag 3 is also dead. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he has been taken out of the fight, and the SP-2M is on his way. This is coming this way. I-16, I thought he was going to try to pull into a stall climb after me, so I go into a loop, and he levels out. Buffalo has a very good very good low altitude, very good low speed handling characteristics. I-16 goes into a split S, don't like that angle, so pull up. Ishak runs to get to the assistance of the SP-2M. Still getting shot at by flak here through all of this. Of course, it's completely ineffectual. SP-2M tries to take a crack at me and misses. Go into a high roll. Screw up the roll there a little bit, but doesn't really matter. I-16 tries to go into a split S, or a barrel roll rather, kill the pilot on the way through, and then turn in for the SP-2M. And I'm also going to climb a little bit more to get some altitude, because I do know that there is another Peshka 3 that is currently on the runway. Now, I don't actually end up catching this SP-2M. I kind of just end up following him for a little bit. And decide, okay, you know what, this really isn't worth my time. I'm just going to break off and go after the Peshka. However, the P-400 and the Hurricane we saw earlier in the match have currently just gotten off the airfield and are from a reload, a refuel, and a repair, and are on their way here. I have also told them the state of my ammunition. I have 217 rounds of machine gun in the 50 calibers and 330 caliber rounds. However, it's not really going to make much of a difference because they are going to shoot down the SP-2M in not too much time. And well, that'll just leave the Peshka. Also, you'll notice that one of our Catalinas is still alive. However, he doesn't really play much of any part in the match. He has just dropped his bomb load on that base over there, and he is currently RTB. So yes, P400 and I'm leaving the P400 and the Hurricane to deal with the SB, and well, I'm just going to basically show you how you take out a Peshka 3 and a Buffalo with taking relatively no damage. So first, select a wing. Left-hand wing will do very nicely. Put some hits into it. That startles him and creates a fuel leak. He turns in. Too late, of course. I mean, I've already made my boom. Go into a loop. I do love the vertical capabilities of the Buffalo. It is very good at that. P3 goes into a knife edge, gives me the wing that I shot at earlier. Just so easy. Now I punched a hole in his radiator and in his oil cooler there on that left wing, on that left hand and the right hand engine. I actually hit both of his engines on that pass, kind of by accident, but what the hell. And now, just staying above the Peshka 3. I'm not really worried about flak at the moment. I'm just staying above the Peshka so that I have an eye on him and I can catch him while he's at that low altitude. Keep in mind, he also still has his bomb load on board. He has not gotten over to the bombing targets. He has not gotten to shoot at anything. He is fully rearmed, fully repaired, fully refueled up until the point where I started engaging him. His tail gunners open up on me. He tries to go evasive. Start peppering that right wing. I couldn't really see there because of the fuel, but doesn't really matter. Take off the right-hand wing, and that leads to kill number 4 against a Peshka 3, 2 Ishaks, a Lag 3, and yeah, against the Russians in a Buffalo, you can still do pretty well. And not only that, but the rest of the team did pretty well as well for an American team. As you can see, 2 kills, there are 4 kills between everyone else, and the enemy team only got 5. So we shot down all but one of their aircraft. So yeah, that was a pretty good match. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you guys later.